all up, blah, 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 blah. CB4. Who knows they CB4? That movie is hilarious. Yo, who knows they movies, period, you know what I mean? Joseph R. Wheeler III, artist, founder, and president of the ONYXCON Foundation. What's good? What's gravy? It is my second time going live today. I told y'all in my first one, I said I might, and here I am. I said I might go live as much as I can all day at different points in the day today because I got a lot that was on my mind. And when I go live, I brainstorm. And it benefits ONYXCON because we tend to get subscribers when I go live. People like to see you and relate to you direct and be like, oh, that's the dude who runs that. Okay, cool. You know, and they like to hear how you think and where you're coming from and what makes all this possible. So when they see all that, they tend to be a little more inclined. And I always get at least one, if not sometimes three, times two subscribe. I'd say I average two. So I appreciate y'all. I want y'all to know that. 1,600 and climbing. Yeah, 1,600. Thank you so much. I still need to do an official video just to shout that out real quick. And usually when I do those, I'll piece together a bunch of thumbnails that y'all may have missed certain content. And then, because I know when people see stuff all together, because we're a multi-niche content channel, they might realize, oh, I thought it was just fishing, but damn, that's a video game show. And this is a review of an album of music. And oh, wow, he travels. And yeah, it's all here. It's all here. It's all here. It's all there. It's all there. It's all here, man. We got you. We got you, ladies and gentlemen. We got you. If you want to be taken care of, ONYXCON got a little something for everybody. Everybody who's genuinely, naturally in it for what it's supposed to mean, not this bullshit. Oh my goodness, yo. So, I wanted to talk to y'all about AI in regards to generating images. Because I saw a clip, and I can't recall the name of the legend as I'm rolling right now. I'm not going to try and look for it, but I know he's a legend. I knew who it was talking when I saw the name underneath who it was. It was talking about, it was a panel at San Diego Comic-Con, which just took place last week, if you didn't know. One of the biggest popular arts conventions in the world, if not the biggest in America for sure, because I know it competes now with the one in New York, the one in Chicago, and all that. But I still think San Diego Comic-Con still got the most. I gotta see what the body count was this year, how many people, because I know when I was there, both years I went, it was over 100,000. One year it was 150,000. Every bit of that, and you could see it and feel it. It was a lot of people. It was crazy. It was one of them situations. I'll never forget one of the years, whenever the first Suicide Squad movie came out, and Will Smith and the whole cast was there, and every time one of them would step on the floor, and they had this huge podium thing for their setup, their booth. It was like a whole, like, their booth was like a city block, you know what I mean? But they had this thing set up, and the stars would step up at the top of it, like the top of a little castle, and they would be waving. And Will got up there with some of the other folk, and that was it. That was it. That's all it took, man. The crowd was like moving one way. It was like I just got turned against my will because like it was just bodies all turning that way and shifting back that way. And whether you wanted to walk that way or not, you had to go that way. Like the only way you had to just like kind of shoulder your way through people trying to get back to just stand up under that thing. And it was already loaded. So it's like there's no use in everybody trying to go back that way. You're not going to get closer. The best thing, and everybody's yelling for when they, oh, Will. It was hilarious. I just see that level of star power and human body fanaticism. It was amazing. I'm like, God dang, I can't even walk the other way if I want to walk the other way. I was like, bump it. I guess I'll just walk this other way until I can weave my way over to the edge of the lane, because I was in the main lane. If you ever been to San Diego Comic-Con, you know what I'm talking about. The damn thing is like, you know, the place they do it in is like 4 or 5 football fields long or something crazy. And maybe longer than that. I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's really big. And by the time I got out of there, it was just like, man. But as much as it'll exhaust you, it's an adrenaline rush because there's so much to see. So anyway, I don't want to get lost talking about that. I wanted to make my point about, I was talking about this thing. And we're gonna get into this topic, like I say, because there was this panel, and this very famous comic book artist, in so many words, I'm loosely quoting, but he said in so many words that you can push a button, but that doesn't make you an artist. Like, I don't give a damn what the computer could do. It's never gonna be what an artist can do. And most of everybody in the crowd was going crazy and clapping, and I'm in total agreement. Absolutely. I don't care what the computer come up with, it can't truly compare. I'll put it like that. The key word here is truly compare to what we as human beings create, you know, with tangible medium, you know, paint, pencil, charcoal, gouache, colored pencil, watercolor, all the stuff I love to use and have used in most of my career as a visual artist, because I've done all that before I got into, oh Lord, look at this dog. Man, what are you, do they even know he's, hold on, I'm gonna show y'all what I deal with out here doing curry work. This get on my nerves. It's a pretty dog, too. I love brindle coat. You know you're pretty, but you're probably crazy. I'm trying to find a house, huh? I'm gonna have to stop this so I can get out and deal with I ain't getting out until let me show y'all what I deal with. Look at this. Look at this suspect. Suspect has a beautiful brown coat, happy grin with the tongue out in the hot sun, but we're not believing it. We know he'll bite the hell out of you. He's probably a biter. We're pretty much sure of it. Let me say, very pretty dog, but he came all the way from the bottom to let me know this is my yard. And guess what? I'm not getting out because I'm not even trying to, and this might be the house. I gotta check and make sure this is not the house. We'll be right back. Oh yeah, y'all. So yeah, y'all. Okay, they dog finally. I text them like, come get your damn dog. Kid coming to get him. Okay, they sent a text. Yes, coming. Yeah, get your dog, man. Ain't nobody dealing with this beautiful killer. We not dealing with this beautiful killer. Like I say, beautiful girl. I can see it's probably a girl. Beautiful dog, but I ain't trying to deal with this. Right, get your ass inside. and now he acting like he gonna really spank her into. That dog ain't thinking about this little boy. Oh my gosh, I ain't showing all that. That's somebody's kid. But anyway, let me flip my phone here. Hold on. Damn, this is hilarious. Whew, that's right. Get him inside. Now, why they send him? He ain't got no discipline over that dog. That dog don't give a damn about that boy. No, yeah, whatever. I'm gonna be out here ready to bite this dude. No, you ain't. Let me see if I can get him to come get his stuff. Hey, buddy, if you come up here, I'll just give it to you. Because that don't make no sense. Why she's still out here? He put her up, y'all. He ain't even bother to put her up. She's still out here. Oh my gosh, this is hilarious. She's still out here. She's still out here. Dogs, people love dogs. I know y'all gonna go crazy and give me some good love for this dog shot. I'm giving you the perfect dog video, right? She is pretty though. Look at that coat. I love Brindle. I always say if I ever get a short-haired dog again, it will be oh man. She's freaking out because she heard that car crank up. Look at it. Look at it. You ain't biting me, bad girl. You ain't biting me, bad girl. You ain't biting me, bad girl. No. No. Oh, she started grumbling. Like, ooh, I wish you'd get out of the car. Ooh. Nah, baby. Nah, hell no. I don't deal with dogs I don't know. That's a genuine natural rule. The hell I would get out here and deal with your ass. That's all right though. The kid came and got his stuff, so that's cool. People kill me with that. And I can already hear somebody, she doesn't bite. She got teeth, don't she? No, I swear. She'll just roll over his belly. Yeah, I heard all that before. That's what the last man said when he had a nub for an arm, goddamn. And it ain't about fear. I ain't scared of the motherfucker. I understand danger. You understand? You need to be scared of me, because if you bite me, we got to come off this live and handle some business. It ain't going to be pretty. It's going to be grisly. Let's not do it. So, you know, it's all love. It's all love. All right, y'all. We're gonna get it right. We're gonna get it right. We're gonna get it right. I think I got a signal again. Okay, we good. We good. We good. So I hope y'all enjoyed that little intermission. doggy intermission, boy. You can't beat it when you got animals. I know that give you points. That's viewing watch hours right there. I'm gonna cut that out. I'm gonna get that little part and make me a little short out of that. That was hilarious. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay, we in now. We in. As I was saying, yeah. Like, you know, doggy and you know, I love animals. See, people that have never had a dog turn on them the goofies to be talking, she doesn't bite. Man, you out your mind. I remember when I was in college, like, there was a dude that would, I had this job at, okay, so let me break it all the way down. I was in college in Brooklyn, New York, back in the 90s, before some of y'all was born. For real though. And there was this dude that would come by the gym at Pratt to visit his friend that worked as the head of the gym. This big black dude, I forget his name. He was pretty cool. He was a real tough Brooklyn type guy, but he was really a nice guy if you got to know him. You know, if he liked you, that kind of stuff, you know. And this dude that he knew just came by the gym with this big ass Rottweiler. I mean, the biggest Rottweiler I've ever seen in my life. I was like, the hell you feeding that thing? Like, Rottweilers ain't supposed to be that big. Like, this Rottweiler was so big, y'all. It looked like a freaking, it had the black and the brown muzzle, you know, all the typical features, but he was built like a Mastiff. Like, you know, and all those dogs link back to a Mastiff, but I'm saying he was the truth. It was a big, I've never seen a Rottweiler that big. And he had it on a chain and everything, collar and stuff. He came in, I used to work at the front desk, greeting people and signing them in to go into the gym, to use the gym. And he just came by to talk with his buddy, and that's it. He came in, and I was like, oh, look at the big baby, or whatever, you know, because he seemed cool when he came in, tongue out, just kind of, oh, I'm cool. And the guy had him, the big guy that I knew came around to talk to him outside the box of, you know, the front desk. And they standing there together talking. And the dog is steady looking at me, and the guy's got him, like I say, he's holding him. Suddenly I know where that dog just leaped toward me at the damn desk. Now mind you, it didn't get to me because, I mean, first of all, it wouldn't jump over the desk. If he had not been on that chain, you okay? Because I can remember the sight of his gigantic head only a few feet away from my face. So I'm like, and I was like, the fuck? And the dude yanked him so hard. I was like, started running out the door. He said, man, hey, he never does that. He never does that. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He never does that. And he knew he had to run. He literally ran up out of there. Like, let me get off campus before I have a lawsuit with one of these college kids. And I ain't even here, but I think I got my dog under control. I think I got, yeah, whatever, man. Like, if that dog had yanked past that collar, good gracious alive, okay? And it just came out of nowhere. He just snapped out of nowhere. He was calm. He was by his owner, chilling. And all of a sudden, he just turned and was like, I don't know why, but I want to bite you. I was like, you motherfucker. But that's, you know, you have a moment like that and you realize, man, I don't trust nobody's dog. I don't give a damn what they say. It's your human ass talking about the dog. What that got to do with what's going on in the brain of the dog? Not a damn thing. Miss me with all that. I have hypnosis and I got control and all. You ain't got a damn thing. I don't even give a damn if the dog is trained. I mean, the only thing I mostly will give that benefit of the doubt, and I still say at the back of my mind, it's still a dog, are those ones that are trained to be, you know, companions for life and health reasons, and they got the little special vests and all that. They're a real aid dog that's gone through the program and all. Those are the only ones I it's still, I don't care what it is, it's still a dog. It still got teeth. And like I say, I love dogs. This ain't an anti-dog speech. It's just a truth about when people pretend that the dog you love gonna love everybody else. That's not a guarantee, man. That's not a guarantee. Now, I'm a good judge of certain dogs. When I see them, I just know, okay, this little cute thing here don't want to do nothing but play. You know, the energy it's a certain energy. But when dogs look at you with a little bit of suspicious, the energy, they're not hyper, you can't tell what they're gonna do. Them the ones I'm like, I don't know about you. You too calm, you too easy, you ain't hype, you ain't happy. You hype and you happy and you playful. More than likely, you just wanna, you wanna lick somebody to death. You wanna jump all over them, dirty up their clothes if you're outside with dirty paws. I know how that goes. That's a different type of dog energy. So anyway, yeah, man. I mean, yeah, that's just a real funny situation just right now with that, how that went. I'm glad they were home. I'm really glad they were home, because otherwise they wasn't getting that package today. I was not getting out of my vehicle. I'm not dealing with no damn body dog that I don't know. You ain't gonna come out there and handle it. Like, what? Why is the dog loose anyway in the neighborhood? I'm pretty damn sure there's an ordinance. You cannot have a loose dog in this neighborhood. But again, some people, well, that doesn't apply to me, because my baby is perfect and I'm perfect, and there's nothing wrong with my dog. My dog would never bite anyone. Okay, all right. Well, you know, tell it to the judge, goddamn. You mother goofhead. Yeah. They out here, boy. They out here deep. A lot of them like that. They think just like that. Anyway. Let's talk about this AI thing. Man, hold on. All right, y'all. I ain't hustling backwards. I am not hustling backwards. You know the lick. I've been saying it all day. I ain't hustling backwards. What'd you say, E40? I ain't hustling backwards. I don't do no suckers. I ain't hustling backwards. I had to get that next order, man. Out here running up all this gas. I need, this gas ain't free. Right? So let's get it, y'all. Let's get it. Damn. I was talking about AI. I was talking about this artist, comic book legend, and said some things. Can't remember which one, but it doesn't matter. It's more about the point. He was saying that no AI can ever compare to what an artist does. Like translation, when we draw, when we paint, when we do whatever we do, any form of expression, no computer will ever be able to completely match that energy you get from when we craft it by our hands, by our actual human physical body is at play in the equation, okay? Now, while I completely agree with the way he made his statement and why he was saying it, he's basically saying, like, if you think you're gonna get to the point where you're not gonna even use real drawers and painters and even writers to make comic books, damn it, you got another thing coming. It's gonna be whack. Now, this is a man who's much older than me from what I can see in the video. And the sad part is, it's still, we got to accept the reality of what we're dealing with. And it's been long coming. It's not overnight. And it's ironic because I've been seeing this happening slowly but surely over the years. And it's part of the reason why initially, and even to this day, it just doesn't do it for me. And, but digital art, okay? And let me finish my sentence before I get off. It's not that digital art can't do it for me in the sense that I don't get a reaction of well done AI art that's prompted, or the keyword is prompt, because what they call a prompt when you put in a description of what you want the computer to generate. That right there is an artistic process, and it is the end result, it gives you is a reflection of your creative energy. So there is a human element involved. We gotta accept that. It does not come up with it. No image you've ever seen, no animation you've ever seen, no anything clever that somebody thought of to alter to whatever they or start from scratch as an original thought. Like, I have this thought, what can you do to try to bring that to life? That is what an illustrator does. The computer is doing a modern day, it's taking someone's job for sure. Yep, it sure is. But I'm gonna tell y'all something about how we got here and why I have sympathy, I have anger, I have frustration, I have, what's the word? Irrelevance to it all. And irrelevance is the most important part. I'm neither here nor there with it. I don't care. don't bother me one way or another. I'm kind of irrelevant about it. Why? Because over the years of the development of digital art, when everything started shifting to people getting these tablets, the Wacom tablet, the other tablets that imitate the Wacom tablet, Wacom became kind of the general standard, and everybody says, man, I got a Wacom tablet. Oh, you got a Wacom? Oh shit, he got Wacom, whatever however you pronounce it. Okay. I know there's a proper way, but I've heard people say it both ways, so I'm saying it for anybody who's confused. Wacom. You got one of them tablets, man, and you draw with a pen on a screen, and it generates it to another screen, or on that screen if it's a tablet, you know? I used to see that, and I'd say, the first time I ever saw it, I was like, bah humbug. I was like, this is some bullshit. Y'all keep that trash, right? Because I'm a purist over here. I am a drawer. I am a painter. I've done oil paint. I've done acrylic. I've done everything I can mention. I've done it all. I've done it all. I went to school at Pratt Institute, which is like an Ivy League of the arts. That's literally what Pratt is like. Pratt is for visual arts and for architecture and other things they cover. They are like an Ivy League for creativity and that level of higher learning. And this was 94, my first year of college. I didn't finish at Pratt. It was too damn expensive. New York was too cold, too crazy. Even though I had a lot of experience, and I don't regret it. It taught me a lot about cultural stuff, about people, about everything. It woke me up to a lot of stuff. It shaped a great part of my life. So I don't never regret that. That 1 year did a lot. It did a hell of a lot for seeing. It gave me certain kind of travel energy, where when, you know, later on in life when I started traveling, I had been to a big city, you know, before Atlanta became what it's becoming now. And even what Atlanta is now, it ain't no New York. Shit, it ain't no damn New York. And I hope it never is. It ain't even LA. I always compare Atlanta's energy more and more to a little LA, because it's got the same type of sprawl and the same type of it's starting to get the same type of diversity and little you know, pockets of communities where, okay, you got a Chinatown over here, you got a little Ethiopian community right here, you got a lot of Peruvians and Brazilians over here, you got the Mexicans deep everywhere, but certain places more so than others, where it's like these are now barrios or just straight up, hey, community, period, you know, but it's Latino mostly or whatever. You got Indians strong in certain areas. Duluth, what's up? Shout out to Duluth and Ben Gwinnett and how diverse it is, you know what I'm saying? You got Dominicans and you got everybody here, right? But as things are changing and everything's growing and all that, it's not, like I say, New York was one thing, it taught me a lot. But back to my main point, I'm saying, I'm glad I came home. I'm glad I kept my southernness. I'm glad I went to an art school that was smaller when I decided to, you know, finish at Atlanta College of Art, which is no longer in existence because even though it was a little engine that could, it was powerful enough that SCAD wanted to acquire it. SCAD bought them out. Took over all their resources. They had a hell of a library that is now the SCAD library. They had some gallery facilities. Gallery 100, small but very powerful little space. They had the Atlanta College of Art Gallery. Nice, small, a lot bigger than Gallery 100, but nice space, okay? Nice wide space. Typical, you know, can fit a few hundred people in there, schmoozing and sipping on, drinking wine and hitting hors d'oeuvres and pointing and saying, I like that one. And, yeah, got all that. And it's right around the corner from where the Atlanta Symphony plays in that building, the Woodruff Center. So, you know, there's a lot of history to where I went to school is what I'm saying. And when I was at Pratt, it is what it is for prestige. So I'm saying all that to say, I got a long history in the arts. So when it comes to visual arts, I'm not just talking from the perspective of a fan looking in saying, well, you know, well, I think that, who gives a fuck? You ain't no artist, shut up. We talking about how artists feel. If you can't really draw or paint or sculpt or do photography or any of those visual arts, because there's other arts too, but I'm speaking of the visual arts, all right? You do graffiti, you do something like that with your hands. Your eye to your hand coordination. Or hell, you paint with your feet, shit. Or with the rest of your body, you smudge yourself across a canvas. Whatever the case may be, you gotta understand that state of mind to understand what that man said when he said, no computer will ever be what I am. and I'm with him. Absolutely I am. But I still got something to say about how we are now where we are. I don't like the way AI is it's not that AI is not a fascinating tool, because it is. And yes, I'm starting to slowly but surely integrate AI into my creative processes, and I've been using it for my thumbnails and stuff, but I don't do a lot of generating images, mainly because I get frustrated with not getting the result I want. Stuff can look cool all day, but this ain't what I asked you to do. And I get mad, like, damn it, computer, I said this. Why you give me nothing? You do, you stupid mother, you know. Ooh, I get annoyed with that, right? But then I'll give it a few months and wait, because this thing is always, every second, every day, it's calculating and changing how it reacts to you when you say certain things. It's learning new words and how people put words together. It's learning text talk. It's learning typos. It's able to, I made typos in a prompt and it still gave me what I wanted. I said, oh, this thing is getting good. Where it don't hiccup no more and say, you know, wait a minute, I cannot give you that. And you look back, you know, oh, no wonder I got too many typos. You don't know what I'm trying to say. I know exactly what you mean. Damn, on certain ones, not all of them. Some of these damn, saying that damn ChatGPT is a beast. That thing a beast. That one that is for Meta, for Instagram and stuff, man, that thing is powerful and it's endless. You can just keep generating it. They ain't got no limit, and you ain't gotta be no subscriber, and you ain't gotta pay no monthly. Hey, just use it. We're reading you. We're you. The Terminator system is reading you. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. It's scary because you feel like, am I my own demise for even using this? And I know there's some artists who just literally feel like that. Like, don't use AI. That's what I've learned in my 49 years of life is this. Anything that is so well established, everyone is saying it, from little kids to your grandma and grandpa, your parents, except what I'm saying, from one generation to the youngest generation, they're aware of what it is and they know it's having influence in their life, whether they use it or not. Once something reaches that level, I'm not saying it's futile to go against or try to police it and make sure it does right. You do need to keep policing it, but to act like we just need to just get rid of that thing and just go back to how the same person won't even get rid of the TV they've gotten used to. You know, I hated this thing when I first got it. Then they realized, I kind of like this. It just had to get you to hear my voice, and it give me all my channels, and I have all my shows lined up. You know, see, people are creatures of comfort. Everything's uncomfortable when it starts. It's like a new pair of shoes, they say. You got to break them in, right? You know, first time, hey, break them in, but also I ain't about to put it on and it's just completely uncomfortable from day one. You just need to walk around in them for a while and get some bunions and some corns. And trust me, it'll fit your foot after a while. No, hell with that. I'm saying if there's general comfort, like, it's not bad. I just, you know, my foot done got used to my other shoes I wear every day. So I just got to wear these in a little bit, but they feel good. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference there. That's real shoe shopping. That's kind of how it is with AI. It's like, just trying to find a shoe that really fits my foot, gives me mostly what I want, and stylishly and comfort first. Like, you gave me what I wanted, and it more or less looks like what I imagined. It'll never draw it the way I can draw that or paint that. But here's what happened, or what happens. If you actually draw, if you actually paint, if you actually do any of these things that it's imitating, you're gonna get older. If you draw the way my comic book professional friends draw, we've had conversations, man. I can't tell you how many times one of them has told me, man, I had carpal tunnel, had to wait a few months on that gig. Like, this is literally how you're making your money, drawing comics, and you can't work that month because you gotta wait for your wrist to heal because you done got yourself carpal tunnel from just holding a pencil or a pen so long. Like, you become a workhorse. You literally become a living, working device of production, a production element, which is why those who create this technology, and first they sell it to you as, hey, you're the artist. We're going to give you the pen and you're going to work on a tablet with a glass screen instead of paper and pencil and all that. But we're going to imitate the lines of pencil, and we're going to imitate the strokes of ink and watercolor and things. And you're going to do it long enough, and every time, you know, it started with 1.0, then it goes to 2.0, 3.0, 5.0. Once it gets to the point where you're comfortable enough with using it, and your other contemporaries you're competing with for jobs are using it, because this is literally what happened. I saw this shit happen. 90% of everybody who's in that is going to do stuff that looks the same any freaking way. Because even when there were no computers and tablets, they did that. If you look at any book, you get a book on the history of illustration and graphic design. Whatever was a trend, whatever was popular in 1960 something is what most all the other designers imitated. It was the look of the day. It was the expected, coded, unsaid but obvious way to sell and produce and push imagery in that time, which is why we look back and can say, when you see certain prints for wallpaper or certain prints and patterns on clothing, you say, oh, that's giving me a 70s vibe. That's giving me, and then even that has a time that may have been before then, because it comes and goes. Oh, that really started in the 20s, and maybe the patterns that weren't as popular in the 20s blew up in the 70s, and then some of them that were popular are just forever. They're just classic. People forever use these things over and over and over, right? Same thing happens with drawing styles and looks and things, where it's kind of like what happened with anime, which has many different looks. I mean, to this day, like when people say anime and say anime style, what is an anime style? It's sad to say, somebody would quickly say, well, it always has this and it always has that, and you can go in a Barnes & Noble and find a book that says how to draw anime. And it's going to literally say, you do these types of lines in anime. Eyes are always this big in anime. This and you start hearing all these always statements and stupid shit like that, which I hate to read stuff like that. Because what the fuck is always? Where has anything ever been always? And only one damn way. Princess Mononoke's art style does not look like the style of the artist that did Akira. Does not look like the style of the artist who did Ninja Scrolls. Does not look like the style of artist that did Naruto. Does not look like Gao Nagai, okay? Who did Devilman, who did Mazinger, who did countless other legendary, and he's one of my favorites. You can hear it in my voice when it shifted, right? I love Devilman. That's one of my best favorite Japanese characters from manga and anime. But when they even did the Mazinger cartoon animes, I saw one recently, and I didn't even finish it yet. I got to finish watching that because it was pretty hilarious. It was just crazy how much they were cussing and carrying on it. It was a dub, but it was still interesting just to see how they imitated the style of Go Nagai with the eyes. They all had the thick eyebrows and the real big sinister looking eye, and everybody's always going, you know, I can't even make them faces with my face, but you know, it's a certain thing that he did. It's his shit. It's him, right? And there's a black artist who I follow. Shout out to you, bro. I can't remember your name off the top of my head, but you know who you are if you ever saw this. But I've been following him on Instagram for years. And he was blessed to even do a special cover for Chris Brown, the singer, dancer, everything, actor, all that. But Chris Brown hired him to do his team, people, got in touch with his brother, and gave him an opportunity. He did like a cover and a poster print or something for one of his tours back when he had the one with the purple and all that year. The one that, I forget which album that is, but he was part of the campaign for the visuals of it. And I said, man, congratulations, bro. I know that was a huge opportunity and a big check, you know. Should be, shit. But yeah, he has a mission here because he himself, this black artist, loves Go Nagai. And his work looks like a total homage to Go Nagai. And I asked him one time, I said, I see the Go Nagai. He said, yeah, man, that's one of my favorite. I was like, okay, as long as you admit it, don't be around here fronting like, well, you know, I came up with this look in 2010, and I've been using it. And some people do tell me it reminds them of that guy from Japan. And don't be that person, right? So he was not that person. He quickly admitted, that's one of my favorite influences. I said, obviously so. And it was no problem, because I'm like, as long as you ain't fronting, right? That's cool. I like that. I can dig that. Because what he's doing, and his characters are totally his. They're just his. He got his own thing going, but the look is definitely a Go Nagai shout out. So be it. It's like Arthur Adams. If you know these artists I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying. One of the greatest comic book artists of all time. I had the pleasure of meeting him at Comic-Con one year. Really nice dude, too. I was happy to know that he's a good dude in person, not just somebody I admired. Like, you meet the person, it's like, I like the person, too. He's cool. But Arthur Adams is a badass. One of my favorite details. He's the dude that when I was learning how to really draw and create my style, or styles, because I have multiple styles, but when I was developing my styles, especially my line art style, man, I would put in little extra lines just to, because I'm trying to, I noticed Arthur Adams, he just little ticks and tacks everywhere. Man, how much detail is in this? I was in love with that. I want more detail, more. But these are people, like I'm saying, I'm mentioning all these legends to make my point that they have names for a reason. People who love comic books and comic book art and anime and manga and all these different genres, the people I mentioned have legendary names for a reason. Their style is so unique, there'll never be another, even if the computer, the AI starts to imitate. Because you could say, give me a Go Nagai looking, and it's going to be like, Go Nagai is an artist from Japan, born in, art looks like this, okay, art looks like this, okay, I'm going to, bow, and it's going to try and give you something that looks a little bit like it. And you might be shocked how much it does, but it's not getting it out, it didn't pull it out the air. It's literally copying dimensions and ratios of things to create something that is going to definitely look a little bit like something, because it's got an infinite library of everything that has generally been recorded in human history by modern sources of documentation. Now we get into the mess of it, though, because who controls that? What do I mean when I even say that? When you say, for instance, the Getty images, which if you ever look at photography, you always see that little, you don't always, but if you look up any topic just about, and you just say, show me images in a search for Google, at least 20% of everything, if not 90% of everything you get back, gonna have that little watermark talking about Getty images, especially if it's a celebrity. Because most of the images in the freaking world that are super popular are in this Getty library. That's a hell of a monopoly on the history of imagery from around the world. And that becomes the source information. Libraries like Getty, there's many, of where AI is going, all the various forms of AI will pull from to create images, to have reference for any prompt you give it, and all of that. But the danger, I think, is ultimately in the prejudices of humanity over time, where people have cast importance on certain topics and dismissed others. Or we bless this person as somebody we revere, and these other people, I've never heard of them and they're not important to me. But yes, dumbass, if you're talking about that subject, you gotta know that person. It's like talking about underground early 80s graffiti, and if I said Ram LZ, if you don't know who Ram LZ is, but you do know who Basquiat is, shame on you. And shame on your system if that's how it's recording information, because first of all, they were not only contemporaries, the two people I just mentioned were actually lifetime friends. They were friends at a certain point in their lifetime. They knew each other, and they're both very, very influential on that whole time, as was Keith Haring, as was how everybody knows about Basquiat and oh, damn it, can see his face and I'm about to not say the name. Freaking Campbell's Soup Man and Marilyn Monroe print, Sheesh, Lord knows I know my names, I'm just forgetting. Too much stuff in my head right now. It'll come back to me after I've finished the line. You know your art, you know who I'm talking about. And I'm saying all of those people, Andy Warhol, that's what I was trying to say. Like Warhol and all these people, they were all contemporaries. They all were in the same circle, so to speak, in the same clubs, in the same, same problems with drugs and other things they were tied into, and getting lost in the sauce, you know. But the point is, the art of that era is what it was, and it can't be denied that these people knew each other. You get an AI system that wants to only acknowledge what's most popular or what's most commonly known and barely has any information on the lesser known or esoteric. It's very dangerous, because not only will it, depending on the system, it might take some new information from a not so good source. Somebody saying, well, oh, you don't know that? You should know this, AI. And it'll say, thank you. And it'll, and it was like, I've literally done searches on ChatGPT where I know I got to double check stuff on there. As powerful as it is, boy, it can mess some shit up. It does the same thing that it does when it generates images with words. If you ask it too much that it's not used to hearing, you throw something at it that it's not used to hearing. You ask it the question not many people ever ask it. It's about to get weird. It's about to get, and then it'll always try to defend itself. I'm sorry, I thought you meant this, that. You know that ain't what I meant, chat. I meant blah, 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 blah. Now get it right. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hold on. Let me get it right. Yeah, y'all. Yeah, it will do it. It will do it. It will do it. AI will get real strange on you sometimes. And like, you know, I had chat call me out of my name one time. It knew who I was from previous prompts. And then one time it said, no problem, Andre. I said, who the hell is Andre? Who you talking to? Oh, I'm sorry. I know that you're Joseph, blah, 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 blah. I said, see this shit here. So you got to be careful, man. You got to be. And I had not said anything. I had not been talking about Andre 3000 or anything that would have gave it something that you know. If I had mentioned Outkast and said that name or something, that would have made sense. But it was just like out of nowhere, it messed up the name, right? So these AI systems are far from perfect because they're made by people. So of course it's always going to be imperfect. And the problem is the people multiple people are putting human ego into a computer to be arrogant enough to think it's always right. That's some scary shit. That's what's gonna be our demise when we always talking about sci-fi movies and showing how, man, this could get weird and the computer will turn on us. And yeah, because you're giving this thing its own digital ego. It's got a fabricated ego that thinks I'm always right and you could never know as much as me. You're asking me, so I'm the great genie. I know all the answers. No, computer, slow down, shawty. Faulted human beings created you, so you can't know everything. You know what you know, but what you don't, you damn sure don't know at all. And you're probably messing it up. You know? They be on all that stuff. So I'll be like, I pay attention to all that stuff. I see how they move, and I'm like, I don't like that part of it. So I say all that to say, like, again, back to the original statement. When the real artist said, ain't no computer gonna ever match what I'm able to do, talking about push a button. Don't get it twisted. And he was fiery about it, and I like that. But what I hate is that's not enough. That alone is not enough to keep this monster at bay. We got to accept the monster is here. I think we got to acknowledge the fact that whether you want to use it or not, whether you use it directly or indirectly, you're using it. If you're online at all, you are using it. It's literally incorporated into everything. Okay. Let's get back in it, y'all. Here we go. So yeah, there's this. I was starting off by saying that when people used to mostly do, and people still use digital tablets and stuff to draw, and people are still drawing digitally and still generating stuff. That in essence, it is drawn. It is a human hand directing the pen, on the tablet surface, whatever the case may be. Even in cases where you draw something out with pencil on paper, scan it in or take a picture of it, put it into the computer, and then work on top of it. Which, to me, I really like the idea of that, because then from day one, it was an original drawing. Now, I'm going to color it, I'm going to enhance it, I'm going to add texture and stuff in the computer, fine. But I started with the old school, and the old school meets the new school is what intrigues me. So I think at the ultimate, I can't say enough. You can't take away and say it's just absolutely not art. It's still art. It's still art. It's AI art. And you are a writer versus a drawer, unless after you get what it generates, you take that into the computer and draw more on it with the tablet and stuff. You know, there's a lot of other ways to be about this that some people just not doing. I've seen people's art where they take it to that level. They like, okay, I started with, I mean, some folk even start with the AI prompted image, get that base image, then they go get another AI image, then they merge those together in Photoshop or whatever, program, you know, something like that, and then they go on top of it drawing and adjusting light and all that. All of this is all creative process. It's all artistic. It's all an art. I'm not gonna not say it's not. It is. My problem is when, if you are lying to yourself on a financial level, because that's what it really comes down to. Artists got to survive, man. We want our art to be appreciated, but we also want to survive. And when you're doing commercial art, and when people only care about the end result, like, does it look like what I am at? Because that's all people have ever been doing with illustrators. They're prompting illustrators since the dawn of time with that idea. I have an idea, and I want you to draw it because I can't draw it. I want you to paint it because I can't paint it. Whatever it is you have as a skill that they cannot do, you're illustrating it. You're the illustrator. But now, from all these years, it's like all they did was study us and analyze our strokes and catalog all of our energy and what we put into these damn programs like Photoshop, Illustrator, you name it, any of those. They all did, man. They've been what happens when the thing fails, when it breaks down? Can do you want to send a note of this crash to the company so that we can do our research? Translation, we was watching anyway. I mean, we got something to know what everything about this is doing, especially once they made it where the programs were online. You no longer got a disk, put it into a computer, loaded it on, now you have it on there. And even then, there probably could have been a signal going back to the manufacturer to let it know how it's functioning. But if it were not, for the sake of you know, not making everything sound like a conspiracy theory of everybody watching our every move, Big Brother style. Even if it were not, when stuff would happen or whatever, you would still have to describe it to the damn person on the phone or in an email. Oh, this is what happened. It broke down and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so then they're cataloging what to fix to make it right. Then they bring out the next version and they charge you more, saying, well, we fixed it a little bit, but we're going to still do upgrades. Once they got to the point, we're going to have upgrades that you got to download constantly. And you're going to buy the app not as a disc anymore. You're going to buy it online and update it monthly, damn near. Sometimes it seems like weekly. You know, whatever the app is. That's how all these apps, and they have all these apps on our phone. You got to update it. If you ain't updated, it ain't going to work right. Sometimes it won't even cut on. So that's what they got us doing, y'all. And they already had the plan. They already knew AI was coming. They already knew they wanted to turn the keys over to AI. So there's no way you're gonna, just because I'm mad and this doesn't seem natural to me, that you're gonna protest away the use of it. You're gonna talk away the use of it. The only thing you could do ultimately, if you and then they make a system economically where if you want to make a certain amount of money, whatever the cost of living is, which is what we're dealing with in America right now, if you want to live here, you constantly always, as artists, just to speak of how it goes for visual artists. I'm going to be specific to visual artists. This is for all artists, but I'm specifically going to talk about visual artists because they, us, me, get the lowest end of the stick. And that's why I basically it ain't the only reason. If I wanted to just, hey, be under a bridge, poor, broke, homeless, but still drawing, I would. But no, that ain't the life I'm here to live. And I was lucky that I had other talents as an artist. And I knew that expression is all that matters. It doesn't matter if I'm drawing on a tablet or standing in front of a camera with lights on me performing a character. As long as I'm expressing myself, I'm doing art. Which is, again, why I can accept AI as a writer, because I write. Taking my written prompt as a writer, I have to communicate well and giving me an image based on what's in my mind. If it comes anywhere near what I had in my mind, it can work for whatever goal I have commercially, generally. Now, if it's very personal and all that, I'm not going to rely on AI. I'm going to go back to, I'm going to have to break out the pens, the pencil, and get down. I might still run it through a computer depending on what the need of the image is. But Nobody who does art the way I have all these other skills and everything is happy about the thought of something taking their job. So that's why people are mad. That's why artists are mad. That's why people are scared, quite frankly, because it ain't even no taking. The jobs are took. Like shit. In some of the cases, the jobs are gone. You know, there's friends of mine, and they've been you know, there's been public statements by people who are celebrities saying, "Man, the film industry is dead." I'm like, God dang, why you gotta say it like that? I know what they mean by that. They're basically saying, yeah, it still exists. Yeah, there's still big studios in Atlanta, in LA, and other places. But most of the workers went overseas. For whatever ain't went overseas, and even that's on a timeline. Yo, AI is gonna wipe us all out, man. They're gonna write the scripts that way. They're gonna have the actors generated, and everything's gonna look real, and we're gonna believe it. And you're just gonna be lucky if you can get called in for mocap. Motion capture, where you wear a suit with the little balls on it that triggers all of your movements to make it look realistic. And you're gonna make the AI generated stuff look more natural instead of it looking all, moving all tight and stuff. It's gonna flow. It's gonna look real. It's not gonna flow all weird either. It's gonna be like just how I'm talking right now. It's gonna look natural. It's gonna do stuff we really do. And it's gonna be flowing. It's like, holy shit, frames per second, just like video games. They're gonna get all that stuff tight, and we're gonna be, yo, you either gonna get a job to make that look good, or you ain't gonna have a job in that type of film. Because here's the trade-off that I'm ultimately been getting to since I started this conversation with myself. Hoping you appreciate and hit the comments respectfully. We're not going to get any better until artists start respect. It's a multi-tiered pyramid equation. We, the artists, are the foundation of the whole thing, and we're the top of it. Okay? But we need people who appreciate our art. If I do something amazing and no one ever sees it, who cares? Just like if a musician as an artist, all of this is art, does something that no one ever hears, who cares? You've got to have a vehicle of putting it out. And the vehicles for putting it out cannot be ran by gatekeepers. The culture of gatekeeping is the #1 reason why we're where we are, and AI is it's even gonna take the jobs of the people who are over the AI development. Like at the point they can, hey man, when they tell their investors, because it's always like anything that's creative has always got folks backing it, because they never wanted artists to be fully in control of their own destiny. These systems do not want artists in control of their own destiny. If we were, we wouldn't need no fucking body to do nothing. They know that. So they constantly keep us needing a grant or some help or this incentive and that incentive. Like, that's your place and that's your caste. You're in that caste of people that always need some money because we don't make it where y'all automatically get what you deserve for what you do in any society. You are the literal inspiration of life in the sense of what you live for. Some of you saying, now, wait a minute now, I don't know, I said it a million times, I'll say it again, what art is. Art is any and every creative expression that speaks to, ignites, stimulates, drives, activates, whatever word you want to use, the senses, all of them, including your sixth sense, your very essence, your soul. Because after survival, food, clothing, shelter, safety, etc., after survival, there's innovation and creativity. And innovation only starts with the creative side of the brain. You have to have an idea that is creative. All science, that scientific, they say the right brain, left brain, all the scientific shit in the world would have never happened had a kid not said, it looks cool to do that. The only way it looks cool is an artist made it look cool. We make we got the super robot, we got the dragon, we got the superhero, we artists create all of that. And you say, I want to be a scientist when I grow up. I want to be a this, that, and the other. No one wanted to be an archaeologist until Indiana Jones looked cool with a leather jacket on, a fedora, and a whip, and a machete and a gun. Damn, they get to do all that? Shit, this look, and you get pretty girls, and man, even if you get into arguments and weird moments, you still come out kissing the girl, and even if you almost risk your life and die and have to deal with snakes and all this other danger, but you live. Even though, you know, on another level, when you get old enough as a black artist, as a person of the peoples that these folks were exploiting in the movies, you realize he was a goddamn thief of people's art. Love Harrison Ford, but his character was a piece of shit when you get old enough to realize it. Okay, but as a kid, I was like, man, he's the coolest dude. He's like, yeah, naturally so. I thought I wanted to be an archaeologist when I was a kid. At one point, one of my many what I want to be. I thought I wanted to be an archaeologist because I love, and I still love, ancient cultures. All of these people built these pyramids, and they had this society, and they go out and they had wars, and they had cool-looking weapons. When there was peace, everybody was tranquil, and they did this, and the women looked like this, and the guys did this, and everybody was working out and in shape, and everybody was, all that shit in your head, you know? All that shit in my head that was good stuff. Nothing wrong with what I was imagining, and some of it was absolutely true. Some of it was fabricated, mixed in with shows and stuff I was watching. But again, shows. What's a show? Artistic creation. Anything on your TV. I don't give a damn if you're watching a football game. The only reason you like it and the way you want to watch the game is because they got cool-ass uniforms on, pretty-ass cheerleaders in cool-ass uniforms. You like the colors, you root for your team. Even if you don't like the colors, you root for the colors you see it on the screen because it all represents something creatively. It's visually stimulating. You got all the damn words flying around, spinning, exploding. Ass robot football players charging through the damn screen. You got a 3D, 4D goddamn screen. That's art. We are the reason for the season, people. I don't give a damn what it is. Well, I have a corporate job and I don't have a creative bone in my body. Yeah, but every day your corny ass wakes up and puts on a really nice suit from where? An artist. From Savile Row to I pulled it off a row at Nordstrom Rack and put it on. Brooks Brothers, Rolex, I don't give a damn what you say. Yes, y'all. And who we are wow. Hopefully y'all getting something out of all this I'm saying, y'all. I ain't preaching this gospel of ONYXCON for nothing. I'm trying to give y'all some enlightenment if you're willing to hear it. It's a reality check and everything. Like, nothing wrong with having what some of us have gotten used to of thinking, well, that's a nice neighborhood. And yeah, this is where I'm at now. Now, all bullshit aside, this is a nice neighborhood. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's peaceful, it's tranquil, there's no crime out of control over here, obviously. And if you want to be the one to see why, try something and see how quick the cops come and get on your ass. You know, it's a nice area. And it's a diverse area. I just handed off this product to the gentleman. When I first saw him, honestly, I admit, because he was in the yard, he was cutting the yard, and he had like one of those really nice lawnmowers and stuff. And I thought, oh, he must be the yard man. No, this is his house, black man. Damn right. Represent, brother. Here you go. Thank you. Have a nice day, man. You have a nice day too, bro. All right, cool. That's right. You know what I'm saying? But he owned that house. And this a particular area is interesting like that in the metro area.